Hello and welcome once again to Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, coming at you for the third video in this swelteringly hot night in Jakarta, Indonesia, one day before I pack my bags to a new location coming right up. Should be interesting. I'm really excited about where I'm going. I guess we're going to find out about that next week, and I'll explain why next week in the next video. In this video, I want to talk about the concept, just real quick, maybe not a big video. I want to talk about twin flames, twin souls, soulmates, because I had a couple people asking about this, and actually the topic synchronistically came up with a friend of mine at the same time, so it's kind of funny. So I guess the internet or the universe or both wants me to talk about this a little bit, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Twin flames or soulmates, and there's different definitions of these terms. Some say twin flames are not soulmates. Soulmates are not twin flames, but some say that all of us are destined to be with somebody who has our one true love, who we will be with forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And I will say that firstly, a thing I like about this concept is that I know people who are really in love and have lost partners and their partners on the other side, and they're inseparable even in death. They really truly are practicing a high exalted level of love between each other, and it's one of those inspiring things, which is why I do the work that I do for those people. I'd say a percentage maybe of all the people who read my books and stuff are people who've lost spouses, for instance, and they like to know things like, hey, you can have physical sensation when you die, you can hug each other, you can make love, you can be in your physical body again, but then it'll be in the perfect condition, perfect health. You can live the life you wanted to lead on that side, and to know that there's many couples on that side, and the continuance of a romantic relationship. So all that is the stuff that I like, I care about. That said, I don't believe in twin flames or twin souls. That's a bombshell, isn't it? Here's why I don't use that terminology. I don't like the terminology. Now, believe it or not, I guess you can believe it, I used to be predominantly a writer about relationships and dating. So I have books out there, I have articles out there using kind of a pseudonym. But one of the things I would always write about and teach or talk about was unrealistic expectations. And so the idea of soulmates and twin flames is one of those things that puts unrealistic idealization upon a partner. Many times now in my life, or at least a handful of times, I've seen people who have claimed this person is my soulmate because they're in that in love state and that their partner can do no wrong, and then 6 months later arguing, breaking up. In one case, a couple I knew who literally thought this, they ended up getting restraining orders against each other. It was brutal. So all of this stuff that they thought was just absolutely irrefutable, this person is my soulmate, went south really badly. And I think part of that is also due to you hold somebody to these unrealistic expectations with these ideas, instead of seeing, when you get together with somebody, they're going to have a lot of flaws. I see, if I wanted to be in a long-term relationship or get married, I've dated quite a few girls in my life. I mean, there might be one who, I don't get along with that well all the time, but I know we do get along nicely enough, and I could see myself with that person every day. And to me, that's all the criteria that I would need. I'm not going to try to make this person perfect or call them a twin flame or call them a soulmate. I'm going to call them a soul partner, somebody I'm willing to make a commitment like this with, to maybe raise kids or whatever. And obviously, we've had some kind of a destiny at the end of it all, if that person becomes who I stay with, for the rest of this earthly life, who becomes my partner. And it's a beautiful thing, but that doesn't mean we are predestined. We use our free will to make a choice to come together because our souls had a compatibility. And that to me is nice that's as nice as anything. But I wouldn't call somebody a soulmate or a twin flame because, again, you're building up that expectation, and what happens when that expectation fails? Then heartbreak can be the worst grief in the world. I mean, as bad as losing a child, losing a spouse to death. I've seen heartbreak destroy people's lives, and I've heard about heartbreak costing people's lives, people, killing themselves. Because it's so intense when people hold themselves up to these high emotional expectations about somebody else instead of just seeing somebody as an individual, separate soul on their own path in life, and that no matter how closely connected you are to somebody, that person deserves a level of boundary and respect and the ability for them to live their own separate life from you, even if you are their partner. And I think this is an ingredient to a very healthy relationship if you can recognize that separation, and it's okay if you are separated and somebody has their own ideas, their own thoughts, their own hobbies, hell, even some of their own friends that aren't your own. Maybe sometimes they go out and go on a vacation by themselves and come back, give some time away for both people in the relationship to get a breather and realize what matters to each other, and then return to the romantic relationship. A lot of romantic relationships fail because after two people fully know everything about each other, then things start to get stale, because what you are initially attracted to is that kind of mystery and the individuality, the differences between each other, and that creates that powerful polarity, that powerful. It's not only sexual, but also, of course, romantic, or it's just a connection, though. Like, you feel that, and a lot of that's based upon differences. And those differences, I think, sometimes need to be reinvigorated in a relationship. So sometimes it's good to go out and do your own thing and come back to the relationship. So that's kind of my feeling about this. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments below. Once again, if you like this stuff, then please hit that subscribe button down below. That's the big red button. Maybe you need a Gmail account to see it. It helps keep this fledgling channel from, disappearing. Any help I can get in that area is appreciated. Let's see. Do I have any final thoughts about twin flames or soulmates? Yeah, I guess I said I don't think I buy the concept, and I think I think they have a successful romantic relationship. It's still good to see each other, as individuals who are on your own path, even if your paths are tightly woven together. And I think that creates a higher chance of a successful relationship than holding somebody to extreme standards. So yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, then hit the subscribe button, or check out my books, Understanding Life After Death, The Afterlife, and Beyond. Those books are in the channel description down below. Just hit the show more button to see those, and you can grab them on Kindle. Understanding Life After Death is like $4 on Kindle. You can read it immediately. If you hate the book, you can even refund it. But I promise you'll like the book if you like these subjects, because I try to lay it all out there in that book. You can also help support this fledgling operation. You can help fund keep Cyrus being able to feed himself, since he quit his day job to live out of a backpack in Asia fund. So you can always contribute to that fund a little bit and help keep this whole thing going. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.